Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel Read, Write, Plan, where we talk about all things reading, writing, and planning. Today I have my CP Petite and I want to do a quick flip through, but then I want to set up my weeklies in a little bit different way, more in a bullet journal style this month, and I'll show you why I'm doing that and how I'm going to do it. Okay, so what I have here is my Tom's Studio Lumos Duo. I just filmed a video on this pen. I haven't uploaded it yet because I want to use it for a little bit because that video did not go quite as planned. Once I have that done, I will link it below. But I had some issues with this pen, so I'm going to use it for a little bit before I post that video so that I can do a little bit of an update about how things have been going. So let's jump into my cloth and paper CP Petite. I'm obsessed with this planner. I love it so much. It is absolutely perfect for me. The only thing that's not quite perfect right now is my weeklies, and I'll show you why. So let's open her up. Move these guys out of the way. So on the front, I have just an inbox dashboard, which honestly I don't use for anything other than just protecting the front pages. I have a little S vellum for Sarah, and then I have their expressions dashboard, which I kind of just tried to make into little, almost like abstract butterflies. After that, and this always sticks together, I need to put a piece of vellum or something between that. My little cousin had a birthday party, and she had a vision board making station, and so we just made vision boards together with my cousin and my daughter, and so that was really fun. Then we get into my future log. Right now I have the end of this year, and I'm gonna set up next year. Now I did not buy the cloth and paper, sort of the one that would act like a future log, because it just didn't really fit my needs. And so coming up here in the next month or so, I will set up the future log for 2026, which I already have some pages planned out for that. All right, and then we get into my calendar. This is the monthlies and the weeklies. So here is October, and I decided to go with just doing my own monthlies for next year. I did buy the weeklies, and I'll show you that. I didn't buy the monthlies for a couple of reasons. Number one, I kind of just like having a little bit of that bullet journal feeling, even though I'm switching to a printed weekly for next year. And also because in the pictures, it looked like they had the 6 boxes where there was an extra box for when you had a little bit of an extra day or two at the bottom. And I just feel like those boxes would be smaller. So I would prefer to have it set up like that, and then just the couple of days a year that you have to split those boxes, that'll be fine. So that's my October. And then I have been using the weeklies that came with the starter pack, and they're not quite working for me. So what I'm going to do for the rest of this year is I'm going to set up sort of a bullet journal style. Now for next year, I chose the horizontal weeklies, which look like this. And I did do a flip through of this whole thing, and I will link that in the comments below for you to see. So I'm going to set this up as sort of my own little bullet journal. Don't mind my nails. I have been so busy lately that I haven't even had time to paint my nails. After that, I have a notes section where I just keep note pages. Then I have my reference section. I have birthdays and anniversaries, a password keeper, which I haven't filled out yet until after I do this video. Addresses and phone numbers, same thing. And then I sort of separated this out into things that will always be the same and then things that will change. So I gave myself room here to take these out and put new ones in for the next year. So I set this up, and kind of like I want to make this for 2026, so I didn't start anything yet. It's just a when did I last, a bucket list, things I love. I tend to get to a store and don't remember what color of lipstick I always buy. So if I have everything written down in here, I won't be able to forget. Then I have a goals section, and I honestly haven't been using this to its fullest extent. And I don't know if it's just because my life is crazy busy right now. It should be settling down here within the next month. But I made these little folders. I was inspired by the plotter folders. And so I just made these out of vellum and gave myself some places to work through goals. But like I said, I really have not been utilizing this. I just printed myself out a cleaning checklist. And so I got to kind of rework how I do this, I think, because I feel like I should be using this and I'm not. This is my workout tracker, which I did for 4 days and then never bothered to update it anymore. And then lastly, I have budget, and I just want to skip over the first page. But what I'm doing is so I have October on the first page and just going through and writing down all of our spending and categorizing it so that at the end of the month, I can see how much we spent in each category. Okay, so let's head back to my weeklies. And I have these two, and they're kind of the same. And at first I was like, oh, well, I'm going to need to get something different. But I actually like them being the same because then I can just sort of grab this on both sides and flip between my monthly and my weekly. And that's been working out really well. Okay, so why am I not loving these weeklies? Well, there's not enough space up here and there's too much space down here. So these boxes are really, really tiny. You can see they're about the size of my fingertip and they're just not working for me. So I'm going to set up a weekly that sort of mimics the weeklies that I'll be using next year. Now it's not going to be quite perfect because these boxes are actually a little smaller than these boxes, so the numbering doesn't work out, but we're going to do our best to give it some sort of bullet journal-esque weekly. I have this is the one I use all the time. This is my Erin Condren. It came on a prior year's planner, and so I'm just going to use this. I am going to take these out and set my journal aside so that I have a little bit more space to work. So I'm just going to start by drawing in my lines, and I'm going to use the Tom Studio. On this side I have the 0.5 drawing nib, and on this side I have the Duo. On this side I have the 0.3 fine liner. I'm just going to use this 0.5 drawing tip for now and see how that works. Okay, so I've just drawn in my lines. I'm going to use the smaller tip here. There we go. See, I'm just having a little bit of trouble with this Lumos, but I will figure it out. I'm going to use the smaller tip here to write in the dates. Okay, and I actually have the Cloth and Paper Olive ink in this side. So I have the Tom's black ink in this side and the Cloth and Paper Olive in this side. And as you can see, the spacing is a little bit weird up here, and that's okay. I'll just deal with that for now. And I'm just going to put a little bit of color. And for that, I have used the Olive mild liner. And here's, I guess, my biggest issue with the Tom's Lumos is that I would like to just use the brush nib now to write the word October, but it's such a pain to switch out that I'm just going to use my Foodnesco. Okay, and now I'm just going to start filling out. I've got my monthly over here, and let's see what we've got. So today, and this is what, okay, so let me explain why my nails are so bad. I am a teacher, and I have been in the summers working as a bartender, and I'm currently working at 2 bars. And what happened with the one bar is that usually I only work until school starts. But this year they lost a few people, and so I've been trying to help out and stay there until the weather turns and the patio closes and they won't need as many people. But I feel so overwhelmed by that that's where I am. So let me start with my stickers. And we babysit our grandbaby a couple of days a week. So to this week, because my daughter works from home 2 or 3 days a week, and then we babysit 2 or 3 days a week. So this week we are babysitting on Tuesday. And these are just stickers that I printed out on my computer. I think I made them in Canva and just printed them out. I don't cut them out on my Cricut, although I could. It's just easier for me to cut them out because they're like practically squares. And then we babysit on Friday. Okay. And then the other thing that I have scheduled, I have joined a spin gym, and it is the one thing that I just really enjoy doing. And even though some days I don't feel like I have the time or the energy, I still try to go at least 3 times a week. So this week I'm going on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because it's the only days that I don't work at night. Okay, and Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Sometimes I go at 6 a.m. Sometimes I go at 6 at night. Just depends on what classes are open and what instructors. Okay. And then the only other thing I have scheduled this week on Tuesday, and I guess I don't have enough room there. I was thinking like appointments on the left and like to-dos on the right, but we'll just put it in here. I have a physical therapy appointment at 7 a.m. I've been dealing with, on top of everything else, I've been dealing with some vertigo issues. So the 8th is my father-in-law's birthday, so let me get a sticker for that. Okay, like I said, most of my stickers I just print out from Canva. Just give that a little bit of color. Okay, and Wednesday is John's birthday. Okay, and again, I think I'm going to have to rethink as I go how I do my to-dos, or, you know, the 2 different sides. On here, there's not really 2 different sides, but there definitely is on these ones. There's like a blank side and a grid side. So I think this is good. It will give me some practice using these before I actually use them. Okay, I think I'm going to do over here to-dos for the week. And then I'm not sure yet what I'm going to use these for, so we'll see how that goes this week. Let me put my work schedule in because I haven't done that yet. So tonight I work at the pub from 4 to close. Friday I work at the other bar from 3 to whenever they don't need me. And then Saturday and Sunday I work the opening shifts. Okay, so that is my attempt at a bullet journal style weekly. Let's just put that back in here now. Okay, and that is my cloth and paper CP Petite. Like I said, I am obsessed with this little guy. It is just the perfect size, fits perfectly into my purse. I love that it has a big pen loop. This is the vegan leather cover, and it's a little bit green, a little bit brown. It's perfect for fall, and I love it. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you stuck around, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.